Welcome to this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches. I am your coach, Mike Wilkins, here with Coach Will Morrow, and behind the scenes, the young producer, Max Gerald. This week, we're going to talk about the IBJJF Pan American Championships, UFC 320, and the upcoming UFC Rio card. Coach Will, what shall we start with?
Let's start with Pans.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Okay. So, Pittsburgh took on Pans. We had some good performances. We didn't really have any bad performances, just some, maybe like, shucks performances. All right, so let's start with Friday, okay? Pan's 3-day tournament. Friday was blue belt adults, brown belt adults, and brown belt masters. So for the stout team, our blue belts who went on Friday, they all ended up going 1-1. First up was Ethan Patton out of Zealy. He's like just a complete maniac. So he comes out, does a bunch of dumb shit, and then catches like an inverted triangle, like trying his best to lose, but finds his way to win. All right. Yeah. So not like the score was really big at this point in time, but he was losing 2-0 on points and 1-0 with the advantages. And he did everything for the other guy. Like, he took himself down. He gave the other guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, the other guy didn't do anything to score these things. Like, Ethan, did it to himself. Yeah. He literally, picked his leg up, let the guy grab it, and then, just threw himself down, going for, a Kimura trap.
That's hilarious, yeah.
And then he did it again, but went to, an inverted triangle off of it. So that was fun. Actually, dude, let's pump the brakes. Let's tell a little bit more about this story. So, the other blue belt, the other blue belts who went that day for our team was Isaiah Schaefer and Erica. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ethan and Isaiah came together. All right, they're about as hardcore as hardcore gets. Right. Okay, for example, they drove from Pittsburgh to Jamaica, Queens, and slept in the car in a parking garage.
Savage.
Woke up the next morning, drive to the event. They are late because they're having unexpected things happen, right? If Ethan walked in the door 4 minutes later, he would have been disqualified. Okay? So he manages to make it up to the scale with 4 minutes to spare, all right? Then you weigh in. There's test scales there. Once you step on the official scale, that's it.
Right.
Done deal, right? He steps on the official scale, he's overweight. Okay? Supposed to be DQ'd. Looks at the guy, is like, come on, man, you can't do this to me, right? About to cry. The guy's like, I'll let you take your spats off, right? Because he was wearing spats under his shorts, which that's an optional piece of equipment, wearing spats under shorts. So technically he's not allowed to do this, but it is an exception that I could see being made. So he takes shorts off. Oh, in IBJJF, you have to weigh in with your gear on. Right, so whatever you compete in, that's what you're on the scale in. So now he's just going to not compete in spats, takes his spats off, puts his shorts back on, gets on, makes weight. All right. Skin of his teeth. So goes directly to the match, right? Because, as I said, he was super late. And pretty much that's how Pan started. All right. Let's just move to his second match. In his second match, he's going against a Pedigo guy, so a Daisy Fresh guy. I really enjoy their team. I like watching them compete. I like actually competing against them. So when you compete against them, they bring a lot of people to the mat, and they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? So they're loud and aggressive, right? So it's kind of like when you're competing, it would feel as if they're going to be assholes to you,
right?
But in 100% of my experiences with them, after the match, whether they won or they lost, they're super cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're just
and then
intense.
The next match comes, and they are intense and aggressive, right?
Yeah.
We've lost them a handful of times. We've beaten them a few times. Mm-hmm. When we've beaten them, they've always been super complimentary, no sour grapes. Mm-hmm. And when we've lost to them, if we've provided competitive, they're appreciative of the competitive nature. So I really appreciate that. But he had a Pedigo guy, and he gave up the most advantages I've ever seen. So after the match, he loses this match. I think that the final score was 10-0, but 9 advantages to maybe 1.
Yeah.
And after the match, he goes, how do you get advantages? Right? And I'm like, well, the way that dude got 9 advantages on you is because he got the rear turtle, right? Like quit turtling up and just like shelling in and letting them go around. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, because at one point in time it was 0-0, 9-0 advantages.
Yeah.
He was like, I looked at the board and I was like, what's happening?
Dude, I love that. Because what that tells me is that dude's got one thing on his mind. Sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like that's cool to have on your mind, and he's not a complainer,
right?
But what I hate is when people go into a role, the rule set, they go in there and then complain about the rule set, like after, right? Like, yeah, not every rule set's going to align. The fact that there's multiple rule sets, lets multiple styles kind of emerge, and flourish and be successful, right? So I'd say Ethan's probably more so like in like a sub only style, right? Like that kind of fits him, but you're doing tournaments like this, and he did not complain. Oh, right? He was actually he kind of thought it was funny, and was curious, and it was funny, right? Because I think he's like, dude, this is a blue belt match, right? Like we don't need to like be that like dialed in on it.
When he's 80 years old, is he really gonna be thinking about that one match? Like
no. I will think about one match though. But yeah, no, good performance for him. He should be proud. Him and Isaiah then went on. You know what? I'm gonna wait till after I do Isaiah. All right, so Isaiah's up. We'll go with Isaiah next. Isaiah comes out, first match. Isaiah's actually a pretty high seed. I believe he's the 3 seed because he wins a lot of tournaments. He's competing at heavyweight, which kind of shocks me because I feel like he should be a medium heavyweight, which is one weight class lower. But it's like a stylistic thing. Like those dudes are a little like faster and more of like a guard player type thing. So in his first round match, he ends up 13-0 and then submits with a rear naked choke. And then in his second match, oh man, it was a barn burner. He just narrowly missed taking the guy's back, like a near sweep. The guy quad potted, he jumps on the back and he falls off. So he just misses taking the guy's back, and the guy ends up getting a mount through a scramble. So Isaiah ends up losing that 4-0, but he was like close to scoring. Like he was down like 4-0, let's say at the halfway mark, and he just like battling through, just like almost getting. So he ends up losing that match, and it's in the quarterfinals. So that's, if he would have won, he would have medaled. So it's a little discouraging, but he handled it well. Now I'm going to move on to what they did the rest of the weekend. So then they drove to Philly the next day and competed in Naga, and then drove to, I can't remember the town now, and did a Grappling Industries on Sunday. So they did the IBJJF No-Gi Pans on Friday, Naga on Saturday, and a Grappling Industries on Sunday.
Dude, I love that.
Sleeping in their car the whole time.
I love that. How old are these dudes?
Isaiah is 27, Ethan's 22.
Dude, I love that, man.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's pretty sick. All right, so we're going to move on now to Erica. So Erica also was a pretty high seed. She was the 3 seed. She's got a ton of points. She competes a lot and wins a lot. Although she's got like all these points, competes and wins a lot, she has not been doing this for very long. She started in 2024, right? So like,
wait, 24? Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that recent.
I think it was like a New Year's thing.
Wow.
Yeah, like January of 2024. Yeah. I first like noticed her like potential in May of 2024, and then that's when I was like, oh, you should start training with Brittany and Claire, right? So she's been training with Brittany and Claire now for a year and change,
right?
And she competes a lot, she wins a lot, she trains all the time. She's very good. She won her first match. She was up 4-0 and then finished with a rear naked choke. And then she ended up losing in the quarterfinals to the girl who ended up winning the whole thing. She lost 2-0, but like she gave up a takedown early through like an underhook exchange to a rear standing position, and then got like kind of mat returned down. Worked her way back up and stuff, and just spent the entire time just like gunning back like till the bitter end.
Yeah.
Even when there was like it's like, okay, like you have to control the position for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So basically, essentially, when there's 3 seconds left,
it just doesn't matter.
It's over.
Yeah.
You can't control it for long enough, right? She's still just like blasting doubles.
Love it.
So disappointing for her, certainly. She certainly expected to medal. She was definitely a medal favorite for sure. But She had dropped down to middleweight for this tournament. And funny enough, so we get there and she has a weight scare. All right. So we get there and she's about 5 pounds over. We get there. It's like 9 p.m. the night before. Right. And we're like, oh crap, we got to cut this weight. So her, Claire, and Brittany, they go to an LA Fitness. Me and Vince take them, drop them off at an LA Fitness. And while they're there, we're going to go do the grocery shopping. So they're in there cutting or whatever. And I run them through the cut protocol. Claire's done it a bunch of times. Brittany's done it a bunch of times. So they know what's going on. So I felt like pretty good with it.
Yeah.
And like when we were going, we weren't 100% sure on like the hot tub to sauna situation. So the one thing about like LA Fitness is the saunas are in the locker rooms, right? So it's something that we got to think about. It's like with Brittany and stuff. If we're going to cut weight, if we have to utilize like a sauna in an LA Fitness, we cannot cut weight with her, right? So like it'd be ideal like if Claire was there, like so that way she could be there with her in the sauna. So due to that, I was just like, all right, you guys take care of this. We'll go grocery shop. So they do. They get the hot tub though. There is a hot tub. They go 20-10, 20-10, 20 check. Right. She loses 0.6 pounds. Right. They're texting me the whole time. This is the hottest hot tub I've ever been in. Oh, she's sweating. Right. She's doing a great job. Like, you know what I mean? The whole time, like, oh, this is going great. This is going great. 0.6 pounds. Okay. Brittany calls me, right? Trying not to be in front of Erica. Is like, hey, yeah, so we did 20 in, 10 out, 20 in, 10 out, 20 in. She's 150.6. She started at 151. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, what do you think we should do? And I was like, I think you should just come back. She can't make weight.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
She has to be essentially 146.
Yeah.
Because she has to weigh in with her gear on. So the gear's likely roughly a pound.
Yeah.
I'm like, she has to be 146. If she cut for an hour, and you guys said it was a good hot tub, and she cut for an hour, and she lost a half a pound, she's not losing another 4.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what else can you possibly do?
Even if you extrapolate that time, it's not going to come off like that.
Yeah, it's not coming off like that. So I'm like, it's just, and she's like, okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm like, yeah, just like I tell her, like Brittany's like, I'm just going to tell her, look, we'll call it a night. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll get after it. You know what I mean? So she steps. So I'm like, all right, I'm coming to pick you guys up. So Vince is like cooking food at the place. I get in the car. I'm going to pick them up, and Claire texts me. False alarm. She's 147.6. You know, sometimes the scale, like,
it takes a second to like calibrate or whatever.
Because, like, I mean, you can't take like a good scale with you,
right?
You can only take like imagine packing like an official scale, right? You're gonna pack
just a regular bathroom
scale, right? So like, but yeah, so that was a pretty fun story,
dude. Especially bathroom scales will have set points sometimes, so it'd be like, you know, you hop on and it says like whatever 195.7, and then we go and like hit the hot tub and you hop back on it and you're like, I know I lost, like, especially me, like while I'm cutting with guys who are really cutting, I'm hydrated, whatever. I know that like each time I get in that hot tub, at least 0.5 is coming off.
I'm glad you said that this because like I'm a compulsive weight checker. So like I'll check my weight, I'll pee, and then I'll check my weight, right? Yeah. You know, and you can't possibly be the same.
Yep.
Right? And it'll say that I'm the same, and I'm like, all right, this scale's broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
As someone who's checked my weight, like probably an average of like 1.5 times a day over the past like 10 years, I can tell you there are 100% set points in those scales, and like, yeah, sometimes it's not giving you anything accurate.
Yeah. All right, so anyhow, let's finish off Friday with a high note. Rich Roby, defending world champ, won the Pans, which was a title he was looking to get because he was a runner-up at the Pans last year at brown belt, and he had a runner-up performance at purple belt in the past as well. So he gets his Pan title, and he got it in style, dude. He was stunting on these boys. Here we go, knee on belly this side, knee on belly that side, spin around the head, knee on belly, like doing like crazy stunting stuff. So he got his Pan gold, and I mean, like, there's nothing else for him to win at brown belt, you know? Yeah, dude. Mug should probably, you know, I don't know. What more you got to do, dog? What more do you got to do? Let's go. All right. Yeah, so that I believe that's a wrap for Friday. So let's get into Saturday. So Saturday is the day for most of the black belts, right? Black belt adult starts on Saturday, and Masters 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
They all are on Saturday. For our group, Sage goes first. Okay? Sage comes out. Sage is up, has a great match, first match, using leg entanglements, a lot of submission threats, ends up winning his first match 2-0. He's into the quarterfinals against the 3. Oh, so he's the 9 and he upsets the 5. Now he's into the quarterfinals against the 3 seed. His near sweeps and stuff, he's scrapping or whatever. Kid ends up hitting like a nice pass to Mount, puts Sage down 7. So now you got to start shorter match. You got to start risking it and opening it up. So he kips himself up, is doing some crazy stuff, and he gets arm locked. But, I mean, I'm happy with his, like, performance. You know what I mean? He's definitely making strides in the right direction. He's competing more like he trains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little more free. And he's starting to feel like he can win.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's important. Next up, we'll just go with me next. So I was the 4 seed because I have some remaining points left over from previous experiences. And I got to buy into the quarterfinals, right? So I end up getting the 6th seed in the quarterfinals. Also, I'm up at heavyweight. So I went up to heavyweight because I was on vacation last week, and I didn't want to...
You don't want to be thinking about food and whatever.
No, I didn't want to, like, be not fun, right? Like, everybody on vacation is trying to have a good time. I don't want to be like, oh, I can't eat that, or oh, I'm not drinking, or, you know, I'm not having a good time, right? Like... it was a big family vacation. There was like 26 of us there. It was an important time. I got to hang. It's like one of the few times I get to spend with my brother for like extended periods of time and stuff. So I was like, dude, screw this. Like, it's not like my career is over, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, my competition right now is, you know, for personal enjoyment.
Yeah, it's for you.
So I'm like, I'm not letting that ruin vacation.
Yeah.
So I made sure I drank about 60 beers on vacation. But regardless, you know, so I competed up at heavyweight, which is 202, and I weighed in at like 195. You know, I didn't put on as much weight on vacation as I planned on, but it doesn't matter. So the other thing is I couldn't change my weight back down because I had to make my decision. On the Thursday prior. That's when it was done. So I was like, but I might stay. Up there. I kind of like it up at heavyweight.
Don't have to worry about cutting. You're probably faster. And also,
I'm certainly faster.
If jiu-jitsu is anything like MMA, they might not be as good.
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever. So my first match, I'm going against a guy. He's pretty talented. But I just feel like I'm a level ahead, right? Like right off the bat, he takes a shot and I'm like, oh, sick, you're going to wrestle with me, which was awesome. So he takes a hard shot. I down block it. I'm like, all right, cool, you're going to wrestle. So I just quick elbow pass, inside single, come up, run the pipe. He goes to base out into like a quad pod turtle. I jump on his back. I hit a truck roll to go back take.
So sick.
Kind of a little like scramble. I don't get the second hook in, so I just come up on top for my takedown. And then like at that moment, I was like, ooh, I'm about to stunt. Yeah. Right? So we get into some like good like wrestling exchanges. He gets in on a low single. I just like turn and kick out and almost take his back on it. I'm feeling like really good. Match is winding down, right? And I'm just like, okay, I'm at the point of this. And this is like what I'm upset with, all right? I'm like, all right, I'm just going to hand fight this match away, you know? And just like, boom, now I'm off in the semis. I'm going to medal. And then we'll see where we go from there. Like 30 seconds left, I decide that, right? So I quit shooting. I quit being offensive. And I'm like, all I got to do, stay in this hand fight, keep him off my leg, match is over, right? And like a fly to a blue light, dude, I just like found a way to let him in on my leg, right? So I let him on my leg, which again is no problem, right? Like, so like I'm draped over the top, defending and stuff, and I can give up the takedown. I can just go, okay, you got the takedown, and I still win. You know what I mean? And he steps over, and I'm like still defending the takedown, and it puts me in like, they call it a dog bar. It's when like you like hook the leg and you like can drive your hips into the knee.
Yeah, it's like a knee bar from like
a single leg position kind of. And my knee just like, I feel it like just like slide and like quick pop, and I tap. And I'm so upset because there was like 15 seconds left. I didn't need to be there. I could have just been like, all right, bro, you got a takedown.
Yeah. Cool.
Here's a high note for you to end this match on. But I'm moving on here because I'm ahead, you know? So pretty upset with that. But what upsets me the most and I was like super upset, just like lack of discipline. And like, that is exactly the opposite of what I teach, right? I'm like, yeah, we run that scoreboard up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we run the scoreboard up. Like, you keep going to the end because, and I always tell them, I'm like, if you lose because you're trying to blow the scoreboard up, you will not be sad about it. It will not hit you. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, like, but if you lose by being defensive, it's gonna hurt. Right? So it's like, damn, dude, like, I preach this, I need to practice it, but like, whatever. But the worst part of it is my match ended up going the same time as Claire's match. So I wasn't able to coach Claire.
That sucks.
Yeah, I felt really bad about it because, like, for everybody who I was there to coach, like, want everybody to do well, and it's very important, but she was the most important person there for me to coach, and I didn't get to coach her. And I'm like, okay, cool. So now my selfishness of me wanting to compete took away from her having her coach for her match, right? And I should have at least won. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so that sucked. But yeah, whatever. That's my performance. So another, dude, Worlds 2022, Pans 2012, Worlds 2022, Pans 24, Worlds 24, that's 5 majors that I've done where I've lost in the quarterfinals, and semifinals is placing. So that's 5 majors where I've lost in the blood round in a row.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Dude, it sucks. But guess what? World's in December, dog. Back at it. I told Dempsey after I was like, dude, I was distraught. I was like, I cannot believe that. I actually felt amazing too. Right. I was like, I cannot believe that. And I finally wasn't hurt. Like, I had no injuries.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I can't imagine there being a tomorrow. It was like, dude, he was dead. He was dying. I was like, dude, I just can't imagine there being a tomorrow. All right. So, all right, let's move to Claire. So Claire, adult black belt. So she's in the pros. She's in the real deal. I'm in masters. So she's in the pros. Coming off of a great brown belt year last year, rookie year at black belt. She's hit some opens. She's had some success at opens, things like that. I still haven't watched her match yet because I competed at the same time. But from what I got from it, basically it was like a 7-minute leg lock battle. Back and forth leg lock battle in the 50-50. She ended up getting ankle locked with like 2 minutes left in the match. So I just was like, dude, like, I can't watch her match this weekend. Like, I was like, I'll watch it on like Monday or Tuesday. Right, yeah. I was like, we're not in the mind space for this. Yeah. So I'll get to that. But like, really proud of her. Like, like, this is it. This is the pros. You know what I mean? So she'll be back at it. We have some exciting news about her competition schedule coming up. She's got East Coast Trials mid-November. She's got Worlds mid-December. And then she has a super fight that we will announce when all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. But we're very, very excited. So she's got a lot of important competition coming up. So right back on it. Also, Vince Mang, Masters 2 eligible, 36 years old. What's he doing? Adult black belt.
Yeah,
pro
that's
division.
Savage.
Yep. So it's like, that's it. That's the best people are in that division. So he's at middleweight. He moved up a weight. He used to be a lightweight, so now he's competing at middleweight. He's having some rough goes since getting his black belt at this level of competition, which you would expect. I think I started off 0-3 when I was at that level, and stuff. And then it's like, it just takes one. You like get over the hump, and then they're like, okay, I can do this, and the ball just keeps rolling. But Vince,
also, something to mention about Vince, it's not like Vince is, how do we say this, injury free. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's like, my body's fresh though. You know?
He was like lingering back issue, groin issue, likely related. But whatever. So Vince is out there and he's going against this dude, and I'm like, I can't put who is this dude? I'm like, he looks so familiar. Just someone who's probably been on this scene for a while or whatever. And Vince is getting it, dude. He's out there entering in the legs, like guard retaining's good. He's actually winning. He's up on an advantage. Stuff like that. Long 10-minute match. He gets to a point where like there's like things to it too. It's like, all right, so you want to, if you are the one who's creating the action and the other person is
defending,
right? You want rewarded for that, right? So a reward that you can get for that, like over the duration, is they can start getting stalling calls, right? But if you're not doing anything and I'm not doing anything, you're not going to get a stalling call. Or if you're not doing anything and I'm just doing a little bit, you're not going to get a stalling call. So you got to keep on being the one. The more you're offensive and the more they're defensive, the more likely stalling calls come. So then you get into some gamesmanship, right? So they're on the edge and Vince is like, all right, I'm going to wrestle them up out of bounds, right? And then that's going to start that's like money in the bank towards a stalling call, right? Wrestles them up, they go out, they don't stop them. They let them rock. Dude,
they're
jumps
just going
a ghillie.
ADCC.
Yeah, dude, jumps a ghillie. Now they're still on mat. Dude, jumps a ghillie, right? Drops it down. Vince has to bail to bottom out, and the guy ends up finishing the guillotine. But like, there was so much positive in that match before that like Vince is not even upset. Like, yeah, he wanted to win and stuff, but it was like, yo, like, okay, I spent 5 minutes of this match competing at a level that I was questioning if I could compete at.
Right.
You know? And now it's like, oh, I obviously can. But then you might go the same route I did. So when I first started winning at the black belt level, I was like, oh, maybe the dudes I beat suck. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that was my first thought. I was like, okay. I was like, once I win, then I'll like feel secure as a black belt.
Right.
And then I won. And I was like, well, what if those dudes shouldn't be black belts?
Yeah.
And I also shouldn't be a black belt who happens to be a black belt beating other people who shouldn't be black belts even more. Right. And then when my guys who I beat started winning matches, I was like, okay,
now we're good.
I'm here. All right. This is now, because like, it's just like, oh, well, what if that? Well, what if this? This never ending cycle. So Vince's opponent ended up making it all the way into the top 8 to day 2, and he lost on a penalty point in the quarters. So that should give Vince some confidence moving forward. Unfortunately, he might not be able to compete at the World Championships. He does not have enough points to qualify himself. But we'll see what happens. But he is going to be doing the ADCC East Coast Trials, so there's still something to look forward to there. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up our Saturday. So no medals from our black belts. Sunday, let's start with some fun stuff. Isaac Greeley, Pan Champ again.
Yep.
Again, Pan Champ. Oh my gosh. All the way back to Saturday morning. Because I'm competing that day too. So but Jake Lowry.
Oh yeah.
Pan bronze. He bronze at Masters black belt.
Sick.
Big win over Calvin Tacey, who's someone who's been on the scene for a long time, and I've always thought was really good and is really good.
Yeah.
Is really good. So that's like, when you get a win like that, it's a win to be proud of. And then ended up dropping his semifinal match 2-0, but like sprinting after it the whole time. So like a good performance by Jake. He could do a lot better, because he's very skilled and gifted, but like, you know what I mean? Like, going in the right direction. So I want to make sure I didn't forget him. Also, Evan Mulgrave competed. He won a match and then lost to the defending world champ, who he also lost to at Worlds. He just wants that match back. Like, it's like, dude, he's very close with that guy. And there's some other people that I think I'm forgetting, so I apologize for that. But let's get back to Sunday. All right. We had the return of Sunshine. Brittany Bickhart. So Brittany had a very terrible injury in June of 2024, tore her ACL. Her knee was already compromised from a previous ACL surgery in her youth. It didn't heal right, like growing weird. It like went like, called it her wonky knee. Her knee like went in and then back out. So her ACL like reconstruction surgery was more than just that. They were like shaving bone and like trying to like fix like all this crazy damage that has been there for forever. So that extends the road to recovery.
Right.
You know? So, it's been a long time, and then it's like, okay, like, how do you feel about it? Right? Like, she's been back training, picking up the intensity, and we're like, yo, Pan's first competition back, get you ready to get back into the cage. So you always wonder, like, how's this person going to handle this? How are they going to react? She reacted like a dog.
Yeah.
Same way Brittany would. Goes out to her first match. She wins 5-0 in her first match. But like, you could tell she was like knocking some competition rust off. She wasn't as like, her reactions weren't as sharp.
Right.
But what I'm very happy to announce, the girl attacked the leg. Not a leg, attacked the leg. And Brittany like bit through, grinded out through an ankle lock, defended well, came up, ended up winning that match. In her second match, she has the number 1 seed. This girl was a world finalist at purple belt last year, took silver. That's probably why she's still at purple belt. Has some other like good credentials with it. So we go out there, and the girl actually double legs Brittany, right? So we were like pretty shocked at that. But Brittany's scrapping, but things are just not going her way. Like, this girl's a seasoned, real deal purple belt, right? She was the world runner-up last year.
Yeah, this is a competition.
Last year. I'm assuming the girl who beat her is a brown belt now, because like after you win a world title, normally you move up. So Brittany ends up giving up a back take and a mount. So she's down 10-0 in the first like 2 minutes, right? And I'm just like, yo, dude, who cares? Like, just thug this out.
Yeah, get after it.
Dude, she just fought. She started breaking the girl. The girl started getting gassed. Brittany's shooting doubles through her face. The girl's complaining, oh, my head, my head, my head. I'm like, move your head.
Yeah.
Move your head.
Hey, you ever wrestled before? You know what you're supposed to use to defend doubles? Your head.
Right.
Ask Jack Della Maddalena how that goes.
If you don't want to do it, move it out the way.
Yeah.
You know? She's shooting at your hips.
Yeah, whatever's between
if
her
your
and
head
your
gets in the way, your head gets in the way. She's going through it. So Brittany ends up just like getting super like aggressive and just sprinting for like 4 minutes. She gets a takedown at one point. She has a Von Flu choke on that is actually a threat.
That's sick.
It's like working. Like the girl's like like panicking from it, right? The girl finally is able to clear out of that. Whatever. Brittany just like fucking sprints at her. Like, boom. You could see like a huge shift in respect from the woman. She was Brazilian, right? You could see like this like before match, the beginning of the match, and then the end of the match, like change of respect or whatever. So Brittany came up on the short end of that stick, but she had a lot of good offensive moments, and like, you know, she was put in really bad spots, right? She was in back, she had her back taken and was bottom mount. Yeah. All in the first like minute. Yeah. You know? And it was just like, just like no loser mentality, no worried about it, just like keep going, keep going.
Love it.
Yeah, because like being sad about that in that match is not going to help you win this match.
Right, yeah.
Right? If you want to be sad about it after. But like, you got 7 minutes here, like use them all.
Yeah. And also, like, again, like, is Brittany's goal to be the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the world? No, she's a fighter. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're using
One
this
thing
for.
I do got to say, dude, after this tournament, I always was like, and I still like this, I'm always like, yeah, Brittany, MMA. Like, you're good for MMA. If she wanted to do jiu-jitsu, like, if she wanted to be like, hey, I'm going to do the jiu-jitsu circuit, she would be good.
Oh, yeah, dude. Pick any combat sport. She could do Muay Thai. She could do kickboxing. She could box. She could be like whatever. You know?
Yeah, she could do it. All right, so, yeah, I mean, what a good tournament it was for her, all things considered, comeback tournament. I think the plan with her now is, like, we're going to be looking around, scoping out the environment for fights, whatever, but I think she's going to do Nogi Worlds.
Sick.
Right? And then like maybe like, and then we'll like try to fight in the spring. That plan's always like early winter, spring. That plan's always available to change. But like, you know,
that seems like a good timeline to me.
Yeah, it's a good timeline, right?
Well, I'll fill you in on the details of her striking progression later. But things are looking good for Sunshine. Yeah, things are looking good. So also, who else? I didn't get to see any of his matches, but local kid Tyler Tinsman, he also went on Sunday. He was a purple belt adult. He made it to the quarterfinals. I've watched him grapple in the past. I've even reffed one of his matches, and he's a really like, I like his style is like the style that you know I would like. Right? Yep. Like he's like hitting ducks. He's aggressive, guard passing, all that stuff. But I would say like a big, like we talked about Isaac, you know, winning another Pan title and just like what a legend he is. But another Pittsburgh athlete that I was super impressed with was Maya Yankello. She trains out of True Believer. She's friends with, you know, Britt and Claire and everybody. Like, they all get together and train at the Mat Factory on Sundays. Right. Dude, she is a hammer, right? Like, she's so nice. You know, she kind of, like Claire, like, oh, like, she's so nice. Dude, she's heavy collar ties, slamming underhooks, forward pressure, just like driving. Like, so she ended up taking a silver in her weight class. She lost in the finals to Raina Willink, Jocko's daughter. Oh, yeah. Right? I think I said her name right. And then she was like, thug out, doing the open weight. We weren't able to stay for this. We did get to watch her weight class. We weren't able to stay for her open weight because we had to get back. And she took a silver in the open weight too. But like her like performance
Like, you know, the results are sick. You know, double silver, no-gi pans, sick results. But like when I was watching her matches, I was like, damn, this is hard.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just very aggressive on the feet. Her passing was aggressive. She goes back and forth between like this arm bar and back take that was working really well for her, and just puts like a mean pace on. So I'm like, dude, I like that.
That's sick.
I know I missed some people. Sorry. I'm doing it all off memories that I'm trying to forget. So yeah, there goes the IBJJF Pans for Pittsburgh.
Dude, that's sick. And I think that one of the things that's like important to take away from everything you just broke down there is like, one of the cool things about jiu-jitsu tournaments is like, it's not relative to MMA, it's not as important to like win. You know what I mean? Like each match, obviously you want to win, and that's like a big part of it. But like for an MMA fighter specifically, you know, we're constantly encouraging them to go to jiu-jitsu tournaments. And like, that's why, is to find out what do you do when you're faced with some adversity. But while you're faced with that adversity, you're not like taking brain damage. You know what I mean? What happens if you lose, but it doesn't go on your MMA record? You know what I mean? Like all of this stuff is so important.
Losing in jiu-jitsu, even if you're a jiu-jitsu primary, it's not that bad. It's not like losing in MMA.
Right, exactly.
Like, it's better to compete and lose in jiu-jitsu than to, like, you know what I mean? Like in MMA, if you lost, it like pushes you way back down. Yep. In jiu-jitsu, losses almost don't even count. It's only wins that count. Yeah. Right? Because if you look at it, we're at these tournaments, right? And some of these brackets got 60, 70, 80 people in these brackets. There are 80 dudes in this bracket. 79 of them are losing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 100%. Only one person is winning this thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody's losing. And you're not really like judged off your losses. You're judged off of your like
wins,
your big wins. It's like, oh, he won a Pan bronze, right? You're judged off of that. That's now a credential for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the losses, like they don't really just like, no one cares.
Dude, imagine I told you there's a fighter who has like 50 losses. You'd be like, oh, that dude probably sucks. And then I'm like, oh, but he's also got like 350 wins. Now just name any like legendary tie. You know what I mean? It's like the losses don't matter. And also sometimes they'll lose, like, I think Song Mani lost like 6 times in a row to Thananchai or something. And it's like, it just doesn't matter, you know? Like,
yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I would rather, like, you know, like my thing is like, all right, I am not the 2025 Pan Am champion, right? Well, if I didn't go, I still wouldn't be the 2025 Pan Am champion.
But you wouldn't have all of that awesome experience.
Yeah. But like, it's just like, it's like we were talking about it on the drive home. It's like, I would rather lose than not compete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that is the right mindset to have, dude. That is the right mindset to have.
I appreciate people who are like, oh, I hate losing. Right. But I just like, I hate not competing.
It's the wrong mindset. I am one of those dudes. I hate losing. You know what I mean? And like, I have faced way more like performance discrepancies between what I'm capable of than I think someone like you has. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about like in fighting, there's like fighters and competitors, you know what I mean? And I think that I went way too far into fighter, you know what I mean? And like it makes it more intense for you. It makes you not enjoy the competition, and you don't get out of it what you should, you know what I mean? So like I think that's 100% the right mindset to have, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We got to move to the UFC 320.
Yeah. Which also, before we do that real quick, did you watch, I'll make it super fast. Did you watch one at all?
No. Okay. I didn't even know there was one. Did you watch PFL at all? I caught a little bit of it. Corey Anderson won. Congratulations to Corey Anderson.
Okay, hold on. Could you just watch it on ESPN?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because I tried like during the
ESPN. Yeah, ESPN Plus app. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe ESPN was being screwy. I don't know. Whatever. I tried to watch that. I couldn't. I did watch the one fights though. There was a jiu-jitsu match. Yeah, medium. Yeah, if you didn't see it, whatever. I want to talk about it. UFC 320. This is a fun one. Let's start up at the top. So, dude, Alex Pereira, right? Like last time he dealt with the pressure and the threat of shots from Ankalaev. And so this time he was like, yo, you know how we're going to beat the pressure? We're just going to come out, put the pressure on from the get-go. Dude, I forget if he touched gloves and then started hucking or if he just started hucking, but like from the start, boom, he's getting after it. Another thing that I saw early on, and then go for it. Another thing that I saw early on that like I thought was really, really smart is he stuck a super hard jab to the body. And if someone's like considering shooting on you, you start throwing body shots, and that instantly makes it like way harder for them to shoot, you know, or just like scarier for them to shoot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, tactically he's doing the right thing, strategically he's doing the right thing, put him away in a minute 20, dude. So that was super sick, and got some nice 12-6 elbows, and then got to hit his little. The little what do the kids call it, the emotes, you know,
that's
the celebrations, which apparently like, dude, they were trash talking each other and stuff, but like I don't think Uncle Iev even like knows what's going on.
So I listened to Jack Slack on this. Did you listen to Jack Slack yet?
Brother, of course, you know.
Okay, yeah, and he's like, yeah, oi oi, it's your boy. And he was saying, he was like, yeah, like Ali runs Uncle Iev's Twitter, so Alex is like talking shit to Uncle Iev about what he's been tweeting, and Uncle Iev's like has no idea.
Which I'm so glad he said that, because I saw the clips of them like translating like shit talk, and also like just like their attitudes in the fight. Like Alex seemed like upset, you know what I mean? Like Unc was actually like shit talking, and Uncle Iev just seems like he's like a nice dude who the MMA community seems to hate, and like wasn't aware of what's going on. So that makes a total sense. But dude, quite frankly, I'm glad Alex won for a number of reasons. But if nothing else, it makes the 205 division like fun. So
it does.
Okay, here's the question. Well, we'll ask that when we get to Jiri. And also, if you didn't watch it, this will make a little less sense. But let's move on. So, Merab and Sandhagen.
I want to hear about... So, I didn't watch the fights, so I want to hear about this.
Okay. It went exactly how you'd imagine it would go, except the only thing that didn't go down how you'd imagine is in, I think it was round 2, Merab blitzes and cracks Corey, and he is hurt super bad. Like, super bad. Like, fight's about to be over bad.
Wow.
But Corey is just a dog and somehow like stays conscious and like fights his way back up. Corey fought super hard the entire time, even though like the pace was insane. Neither of them looked like they got tired. It was super high paced. It was incredible. But Merab does what Merab does.
20 takedowns.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now Corey was landing, especially early on. It was an interesting fight. I think those scores are pretty accurate. I think that, you know, there's a strong case for a 10-8 in round 2.
It looks like 2 judges must have done that.
Yeah.
And then Corey won all round.
Round 1. You could also make an argument he won, was it 4, I think, Max? Do you remember?
I remember that I think he hurt Merab in 5.
I seem to remember Merab winning 5. Maybe I did
either 4 or 5.
The middle of the night, I was dead at that point. But either way, dude, it was a fun fight. Merab's just better than everyone, dude. He just is. It's incredible. Also to be 34 and still like at that weight class putting that pace on people.
Yeah,
dude, so impressive. Bomber, I really like Corey, but I also like Merab. So like, hey, is what it is. I don't see anyone beating Merab after this, dude. Like, it's just not possible.
Yeah, he's
just gonna have to get old and beat himself one day. Because, yeah.
Do you think he's too small to move up to featherweight too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean he's like, he's just a little nugget. You know, but is what it is. Hopefully we see the Sandman get back. Yeah, I find him very interesting as a fighter.
Pull up the bantamweight rankings.
Hold on real quick. The thing about Corey Sandhagen that's really cool is like, I always thought he was interesting as a fighter, but like, I didn't think he had crazy potential early on. And maybe I just saw like 1 or 2 bad fights of his or whatever. But like, I didn't think his stance switching was like that good. I thought he had some holes in his wrestling, whatever. And now his wrestling's like significantly better. And his stance switching is much more intentional. And he doesn't make some of the same mistakes that I saw early on. And like, you can tell he's constantly getting better. And like, again, I don't just have enough time to like be as big of a fan of the sport as I'd like to be. But like, anytime that you consume like any of his content, I get the feeling like, oh, this dude's like thoughtful about MMA, which I think is really rare. And I appreciate. So yeah, is what it is.
So Merab beat O'Malley twice. He beat Umar. He beat Jan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He beat Sandhagen.
He has not beat Yadong, but like, are you interested in that fight?
No.
Yeah, me either.
He has not beaten Davidson, which also no one's interested in.
Interested in that.
Marlon Bear. I'm just like, he beat Henry Cejudo.
Did he beat Batista?
No, I don't think him and Batista.
That interests me a little bit.
But I mean, Batista.
I mean, dude, I'm grasping at straws here. Like, I'm just saying, out of those guys, that interests me a little bit.
All right. Merab versus Peter Yan. If they fight next and he beats Peter Yan, then it's just like cancel the division, close it.
Dude, for real. Well, hold on. There is one fight we're not talking about that is the fight to make for Merab. Pantoja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Pantoja said that he doesn't want to, though. He's like too small or something. But, I mean, dude, if I were Pantoja, I'd be like, listen, man, just get huge. And then, like, he's towards the end of his career anyways, you know what I mean? Like, unless he fights till he's 45, you know, unless he happens to be the Bernard Hopkins of flyweight MMA, I think he should just go up, fight Merab, make a ton of money, and potentially get your shot at being a double champ. Also, stylistically, that's a fun fight, too, you know?
That is a fun fight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
All right, next fight, dude. We got Jiri and Khalil. And, dude, for the first 2 rounds, it goes down exactly how you'd imagine. Jiri's got his hands down, just getting absolutely cracked, dude. Like, he's just getting beat up for 2 rounds straight. And then Khalil kind of has the same thing that happened with Alex. He just started getting hit, taking some damage, and just showed that he's, I don't want to say too small for the division, but, like, dude, he just doesn't, he seems like he has a skill and speed advantage over like pretty much everyone, and then he starts getting hit and it just starts going downhill for him. Dude, Jiri, man, he's like, he's wild, man. He's just a samurai who lives in the woods in the Czech Republic. And then there's a, you know, video of him like crying in like appreciation and happiness for Alex when he won, and everyone just seems to have forgotten that Olberg won last week, and they're like, yo, Jiri should get the next title shot. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this fight, dude. It's exactly what you'd imagine.
Dude,
exactly.
how wild is it that the both UFC stats and ESPN stats right here have every single total, like every strike that landed was also a significant strike.
Yeah, that's so
that's like so representative of the fight. There's no difference between total strikes and significant strikes.
Yeah,
look at that. That's funny.
Makes complete sense, dude. Complete sense. Dude, Khalil Roundtree in a like 1-round fight, I think is unbeatable at 205. With that said, dude, just go down to 185, man. Like, he's so much smaller than everyone else, but whatever, just my 2 cents. Let's move on. Dude, this was nuts, bro. This was nuts. So how did you imagine Zalal winning? Is like running around on the outside. Point. You know what I mean? Like outstriking him from the outside. That's what I imagined was going to happen. Dude, he starts like playing his footwork game. Josh Emmett starts like, you know, charging in. And on one of those charges, Zalal changed levels and blasted the sickest double leg. Dude, the sickest. And then just subbed him with well, actually it was pretty sick. Like, he hit some cool transitions, got to an arm bar, and it was like on and Emmett verbal tapped like while standing. It was pretty sick. You actually should watch that back.
You would appreciate it.
Yeah, the takedown and the jiu-jitsu were like top notch, dude.
No strikes landed in the whole fight.
It wasn't necessary.
No strikes thrown by Emmett.
It wasn't necessary.
Dude, Zalal, like, it wasn't like he just shot and then like worked and grappled and passed. It was like he shot the double, and as soon as Emmett hit the ground, he like already had a hook in and swung around to the back. It was just very smooth. Attack.
Dude, Zalal, okay, his last loss is Ilya, right? And then it went to a decision?
No, it wasn't his last loss. He lost to Ilya, and then what was it? He lost to, I think, 2 or 3 other people. Yeah, he lost to Ilya, then he lost the decision to Sang-Woo Choi, and then he lost the decision to Sean Woodson. And then he had a draw with Damon Blackshear, and then he got cut. Then he went on a win streak, and now he's back.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know all that.
Wow. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, he had 3 fights in the UFC. He won by decision. Then he lost 3 decisions in a row, had a draw, got cut, and then he's on he's been on a win streak since 2022.
Dude, he's looking awesome too. I kind of like that too, when guys have like a rocky start and then they hit like a big stride, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So keep your eyes open on Zalal. He's interesting. Let's move on. Dude, bro, Joe Pyfer puts the wrestling on him from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
Not what you'd expect, but everyone was talking about how I guess Magomedov gets tired, so it makes sense. But dude, Pyfer, like, I forget exactly how it went down, but like he hit like this big crazy wrestling chain and ended up on bottom. But I guess the plan was to just make him work in round 1, and then round 2 comes out, kind of does the same thing, and slapped on that rear naked choke. So I was hoping to see a nuclear right hand from Pyfer, but I'll take this.
You got a knockdown though.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I don't know. I was more impressed with his grappling than I was with the striking.
Oh, cool.
Way. Yeah, so that's cool.
That's good for him. Like now that's out there.
Okay, let's get into some wild stuff now. All right, dude. First off, I didn't know that this dude's last name was literally Gautier. Like, you remember that song by the
Make me over.
Yeah.
Somebody I used to know.
Yeah, somebody I used to know. There it is.
Yeah. When they said that, I was like, oh, same dude. But anyways,
there's actually I don't know what it's all, but like I seen it on Instagram of them like performing it, but not like to a big crowd, like like in like a small room.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, so good.
Dude, it'd be so cool to like be one of those people in that crowd before someone blows up.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one of them playing it on one guitar?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
the
super
entire
sick.
band is playing the whole song on one guitar, and they're like drumming on the guitar. One guy's playing one thing. It's really
One
cool.
guy's playing the strings
sick.
like above the end of the fretboard, like where they go into like
Oh my God,
dude,
yeah.
it's so sick. We should watch that.
You should
after
check
this,
that out.
actually. Yeah.
It's cool.
Very cool.
All right, I'll definitely check that
But
out.
anyways, back to this fight, right? So Gautier is enormous, right? Like you can tell from the get-go that there's a size discrepancy. And from what I gather, it seems like this Vines kid came from the regional scene, right? And I believe he's a 70 who stepped up on late notice.
It's very short notice.
So this dude is like, you know, he looks like he's 5 weight classes under. And dude, Mr. Vines, no disrespect intended, but he came out and brother, he might want to compete in some running events in track and field because it was pure. I don't even want to call it disengagement. It was he just jogged. Like he literally just like jogged away from him. And then he would like kind of attack and like half-ass shoot, but like, you know when you shoot on someone, you're like, I'm not going to get this.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like that. And then he just got absolutely smashed, dude. Absolutely
Amazing.
smashed. That's all you need to know.
Bro, what the hell? Patchy mix.
Well, hold on. First off, our boy, Jack Slack, he's right. The Koreans have weight cutting down in some other way. But you got way too attached to like having his hands down and trying to be Anderson Silva while like backing up crazy.
Wait, is he huge?
He looked like he was like big.
Well, you said the Koreans have weight cutting. I missed this part.
So if you listen to Jack Slack, he talks about how
but-
the Koreans, it's like an ongoing theme with him. I think he just barely mentioned it about this fight, but he talks about how the Koreans are like really good at weight cutting. And when you watch them fight in like the UFC, they're just huge. Part of that was because he looked like he was huge. And part of it was also that Santos looks like he's maybe, what weight is this at? It was
This was at a catch weight.
What did they weigh? 40, 50, something like that?
Yeah, I think it was like 52, 53.
Santos looked like he was 5'5". And he was like a little bit soft, right? Like the picture there, you can see his abs. It wasn't like that, right? And you just looked like he was playing with them, sticking on the outside, moving his head, hands down. But here's the problem. If you move with your hands down and you're going straight back, eventually someone's going to catch up with you. If you go hands down, you either need to stay in the pocket, kind of Anderson Silva style, and like counter, you know what I mean? Or you've got to be sliding side to side. And you just have to be super knowledgeable about like what could potentially sneak up, like a head kick or whatever. Santos keeps the pressure on him and eventually catches him, puts him out in the second. Good for Santos. You really needs to clean up some fundamentals, but he could be talented. Dude, patchy mix. Okay, this one was disputed. Max, did you watch this fight?
Yes, it was definitely on in front of me on the TV.
What did you think about the scoring?
I thought that Patchy, I don't know. I mean, he did so well in the 5th round. I could have understood a draw.
Well, you clearly
Or the
weren't all
third
with
round,
it because there were only 3 rounds.
He did very well in the final round to where I was like, all right, does like a loss really? I was like, I didn't feel like either guy like inspired me with their performance. So I wasn't super offended by the decision, but I definitely thought Patchy did more damage.
Just so you know how it goes, Patchy looked like he did in his last fight in the first round. Just like stood there and actually got out grappled. This how do you say his name? Viklash? Dude, I remember there's some crazy. We'll call him Jakob. His grappling was sick, dude. He trusts in his guillotine. He would jump it and like stay on it, use it to get up. You should watch out for him. I think you would like his grappling. His stand up was pretty trash, but that's okay because Patchy's stand up was very trash. So he easily won the first round. Patchy started taking over and easily won the third round. Second one was kind of like up for debate. DC acted like it was the robbery of the year. I thought it was close. I'm happy with it either way. Is what it is.
Dude, Patchy's like decline from Bellator and PFL to the UFC is crazy, and it sucks because most people are only ever going to look at him as like a fraud now, without realizing how good he was in like Bellator.
It's like when Mayhem got in the UFC, and it's like Mayhem's what, like 0-3, 0-2 in the UFC, something like that. And people are like, oh yeah, that dude sucks, and it's like, not really. He has some quality. Like he beat Robbie Lawler. You know? Like, but whatever. Anyways, on to the next one.
Shabazian.
Dude, Shabazian with the big KO. Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked good. One thing that they pointed out on the broadcast, he's only 27 or something like that. Even though he's been in the UFC forever. Yeah, he's a fun fight for pretty much anyone at middleweight if they're willing to stand with him. So like, if I didn't like Izzy as much as I do, like that's a great guy on the way up, guy on the way down type of like matchup. Obviously rankings wise it would never happen, but like put him against anyone who's going to stand with him, it's going to be a fun fight. So that's all you need to know about him.
Sick. All right, should we move on to this weekend?
Let's see if there's anything else worth talking about. Dude, Basharat, he looked really good. Well, maybe I shouldn't say really good, but he's got a chance to be like, he could be good. Anyways, keep it moving. There's nothing else to worth talking about on this, really.
All right, so this weekend, the main event. Oh, wow. Charles Oliveira versus Gamrot. When does this card go down?
This weekend.
But, 3 a.m.
Prelims are at 4. Main card's at 7.
Main card at 7. All right, cool. So not terribly late card.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you've only got one fight this weekend to corner, so
yeah,
you should be fine.
Yeah. Just catch a lot of it.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Davidson Figueiredo's back. I thought his knee was destroyed.
So, right? Isn't that shocking? But let's stick with this
one. Must have just been like an LCL.
What do you guys think about this fight, and do you like it better than against Fiziev?
I like it better.
I like it better, but I also think that Oliveira really needs a win, and I think that would be a lot easier against Fiziev.
Well, they're going to grapple.
Exactly.
This fight's sick.
This fight's super sick. Max, what are your thoughts, given that you love Gamrot?
I mean, I do really like Gamrot, so I've been like bugging my brother, who's a big Oliveira fan, with like, I think Gamrot's going to win. I don't know if I really believe that. I think it's definitely an easier fight for Oliveira on the feet, but I am actually excited to see the grappling exchanges. I think Gamrot's going to win.
Also,
I could see Gamrot winning.
I do think Gamrot's going to win because I think he has better wrestling, right? And I think his grappling's good enough that Oliveira doesn't catch him. And also, if we're being honest, I don't think Oliveira took enough time off.
No, I don't think so either. That's why I think Fiziev is a much worse matchup for him if he wants to stay awake.
Actually, I didn't even think about
that. But dude,
the
grappling exchanges between Gamrot and Oliveira are going to be super cool.
Oh, dude, super sick.
Like, this is the first grappler that he's faced since probably Islam, who's like really good, but will also like scramble with him and play leg lock stuff with him. I'm super excited to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oliveira tries to keep it on the feet more because on the feet, I think he definitely has an advantage.
Agreed.
You know,
but he's always been chinny, and again, I don't think he's taking enough time off. So like, Gamrot might get a crazy. I mean, who knows? But that's what's cool about this fight. Who knows?
But I'm super excited for the grappling exchanges there.
Are we all picking Gamrot to win?
I'm picking him to win.
Me too.
Go Oliveira.
Yeah, I am going to go Oliveira. I would like to see Gamrot win just because he's like super disrespected, I think. But I would like to see him win. Mike, from a grappling perspective, do you think that... I have like kind of a two-parter here, right? First part would be, who do you think is going to be more actively searching to get it to the ground and keep it there?
Gamrot.
Okay.
100%.
That's what I thought too. Do you think it would be more intelligent for Gamrot to play like a control-based game, or do you think it'd be more intelligent for him to like drop back and hunt for legs or like
control-based
upper
game.
Body submission? Anything you think he's more likely to play control?
Yeah, control-based game.
That's a smart move too.
I think Oliveira's like gonna need to catch him in his grappling. You know what I mean? Like Oliveira's good in like dominant positions, but he's got to get there, and it's gonna be hard to get there against Gamrot, I think. Unless it comes off like a drop or something. Yeah. But to like grapple his way to the back or to the mount is going to be a lot tougher with Gamrot than we've seen with Oliveira performances in the past. I'm trying to think. It was Tony Ferguson, but I'm not sure what version of Tony Ferguson it was. But like Charles Oliveira was like his like guard passing, like he was like using a lot of Turks and shit, and outside grapevines to separate and open the half guard. Like. That stuff's like super impressive. I just don't see you doing that to Gamrot.
Yeah.
Even though you think Gamrot's, when I imagine Gamrot's game, I don't think of him as much of a control-based grappler. He's very scramble, hunt for subs in the scramble type thing, you know?
Yeah, but I think in this particular one, I think he's gonna. I just think he's gonna play a little bit more of like a
wrestling top heavy.
Yeah, a wrestling grappling game. You know, I think he'll be looking for passing. I think like. He's not going to be looking to hold a guard or a half guard.
Yeah, he's
but
not going to
I don't think he's going to be like. I just don't think he's going to be like dropping back. And stuff like that. I think he'll chase the back, right? So like the problem with that is like I think that's a great opportunity. Like he will chase the back, but I think he's going to need Oliveira to turtle up for it. And I think Oliveira is going to be happy to keep his back to the mat and play the guard. You know, like if Oliveira would be like, all right, I need to get up and would go turtle, then I think that could force some exchanges that would bring out like a little bit of the haphazardness of Gamrot, and that could play towards Oliveira. But we just see Oliveira like commonly like just like he's like, I'll work off my back.
Now this is gonna be a really fun fight.
Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson.
So yeah, it's just like what happened to Figgy's knee. You know, that's really the question for me.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Shoot. I don't know, man.
Yeah, me either. For me, it's like how much has Figgy aged? Really, you know what I mean? Like,
there's a big size discrepancy here in the height.
Yeah, man. Eventually he'll be too old for this weight class, and like, when is that going to happen?
It's right now. I'm going Montel Jackson.
I'm kind of leaning that way. I'll take Figgy if you... Nah, whatever, dude. I'm taking Jackson. That's what I think.
Yeah, we've got Jackson across the board. This one I'm super excited for.
This is fun. So Alvarez is going up, right? Wasn't he a lightweight? Okay.
Yep.
Man, I don't know, because Luque, hasn't he been knocked out a fair many times now?
I don't know how many times he's been knocked out. Maybe once or twice.
Is he coming off of a bad knockout or something? Why do I feel...
No, he's coming off a submission to Kevin Holland.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he looked good in that.
So he is starting to get finished a little bit more than he used to, but no, he's only got 2 TKOs in his career. It was Jeff Neal, which was very bad. And then the Buckley one was like a TKO, but he didn't really take a lot of damage. He just kind of shelled up and guard.
Oh, interesting.
You know?
I don't know why I'm thinking that of him. I don't know, man. I really don't know how this one goes.
I'll take Alvarez.
I'll take Luque.
Yeah, I got Alvarez. I don't know if there's anything else worth picking on the card. There's a lot of...
no.
It's your boy Clayton Carpenter.
Yeah, we know him.
Oh, yeah. So we got on the prelims, Clayton Carpenter. Looks like he's the headline of the prelims. That's a flyweight that we've been on the lookout for. We've been watching. It's been a while since he's fought, though, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, Walter Walker.
Oh,
right
versus
on.
Muhammad Usman.
Oh, super. Oh, dude, I got Walker.
I got Walker.
Yeah, we're all taking Walker on that. There's no need.
Don't even put it down there.
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm definitely going to be looking for. And that's it to talk about on this card.
Right on.
Right on, guys. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for us.
Should we check out our picks from last time real fast?
Oh, yeah. Let's check out our picks.
I think I'm down pretty bad.
I mean, I went all red.
Oh, that's right. I took Pereira and Zalal. I forgot we did Zalal. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, so I read it out. Both Will and Max correctly projected Alex as the champ. We Sanhagened across the board for 3 losses. I feel like those were big time heart picks.
Yeah.
I went Khalil, Will went Khalil, Max went Yuri, and then Max and Will went Zalal, which I think were smart picks to do that. Max with a 3 out of 4, 75% win rate that week. So that brings his record up to 67, 62, and 1, putting himself pretty deeply above 500% pick rate.
Mm-hmm.
Will closing in on the throne with a 74 and 55 record, whereas I have a 75 and 54 record so far in 2021. So what am I? I'm 21 fights above 500, and you are 19 fights above 500.
Dude, I need Luke to win, and then I can get back.
So this week, Max can catch ground with Oliveira versus me, and he can catch ground with Alvarez versus Will. And we have Jackson across the board, so there's no point in that fight.
Feeling a lot less confident about my
basically,
I'm sticking with it.
For the lead, if Luke wins this week, that would tie us
up.
We
would
be tied up for the lead.
Let's go, Luke.
All right. Well, that's cool. All set then, boys. Anything new? Anything we want to talk? Anything? All good.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. All right. Should we even announce what this was? No. All right. Right on. All right. That's this week's episode of Listen to Your Coaches, and we'll catch you next time.